I am currently back in Dubai and only for a couple of days. Hello YouTube, and guess where I am filming from for today. I am currently back in Dubai and I'm only here for a couple of days. I am on my way to Europe. I am going to be traveling around Europe for 5 weeks. Yes, that is one of the many benefits of being a flight attendant. You have access to staff travel on many different airlines, not just the airline that you work for, and you can go for very little cost all around the world wherever your heart desires. And we also accumulate a lot of leave. For those of you that aren't familiar with who I am, my name is Danny and I currently work for Qantas as a flight attendant. I used to work for Emirates and I used to work for Qatar Airways previously. So I am back just for a weekend visiting my friends here in Dubai because I made so many amazing friends while I was working for Emirates. And I thought that while I'm on my way to Europe from Melbourne, Australia, which is where I currently live, I would stop by for a couple of days in Dubai and just say hello to everybody who's here, because a lot of my friends are still working for Emirates. So a lot of them are actually flying and are not actually in Dubai when I'm here. That's the thing about being a flight attendant. It's really hard to catch your friends a lot of the time. So I'm catching up with one of my friends, Lauren, in just a little bit. I'm staying at an apartment. It isn't cabin crew accommodation. This is actually another Lauren that I'm friends with, her apartment that she lives in. So Emirates, as far as I'm aware, I'm not an expert in this, but some people are granted live out allowance, which means that you can actually leave the crew accommodation at your own cost, but you will receive a special allowance to compensate for not living within the crew provided accommodation. But when I was working for Emirates and Qatar, I always lived in a crew accommodation because it was easier and all your bills are taken care of, and you also have the buses that drop you and take you to work to the airport. So for me it just worked out, but some people choose to live out like my friend Lauren. So this is her beautiful apartment. At the moment I'm feeling so jet lagged. I got here last night and I basically just caught up with my friend Lauren, who is the apartment that I'm staying at. Just caught up with her and then I went to bed really early and I woke up at 2:30 in the morning. So I'm really jet lagged. I am not accustomed to the Dubai time because it's so different to the time in Australia. So I'm still adjusting and I'm going to try to adjust as best as I can, but my body is not used to jet lag anymore because I'm not doing international travel. But today I feel good. I don't know when I'm gonna crash later today. It's only like 10:30 in the morning, so I have a long day ahead of me and I've been awake since 2:33 a.m. in the morning. So let's see how long I last. But today I'm planning to catch up with another friend, Lauren, and we're meeting at the Mall of Emirates, which is one of the main malls in Dubai. So if you go to Dubai, there's so many malls. They're really big on malls in the Middle East. I am personally not a mall girl. I don't really like shopping, but there's really cool restaurants there and it's a nice place to be during the summer in the Middle East because it's really hot here. So a lot of people spend time in the malls during the summer because obviously they have air conditioning and it's somewhere you can escape the Middle Eastern heat. So that's where I'm going today. The other Lauren, whose apartment I'm staying at, it's very confusing, there's so many Laurens. The other Lauren that I'm staying at her apartment, she's currently sleeping because she just did a flight last night and she landed this morning, so she's having a nap. So I'm going to go out on my own to meet the other Lauren at the Mall of the Emirates. So let's go and I'll show you a little bit of Dubai. It's funny, I've just got back yesterday and it's been like almost a year and a half since I left and I resigned from Emirates, and it's honestly like I never left. Like Dubai just feels so familiar to me. It honestly is like my second home and not much has changed in the city. It feels like I was here just yesterday. So yeah, I'm feeling very comfortable here. Welcome to day 2 of my stay in Dubai. I've got company now in the background. I'm off on my way to meet a special someone who used to work for the company. Come walk with me. Her name is Zara from Brazil, and she used to be a CSV at Emirates, and I am meeting with her because I want to talk about her new book, The Long Haul, which is available on Amazon, and I read it recently and I loved it. It was so good. I'm going to link it below in case you want to read it too, because if you're someone who either wants to be a cabin crew or you have worked as a cabin crew, this book is amazing because it just talks about all these like little details about the job, and it talks about her amazing journey to where she is today. So I'm going to link that below for you guys. Tell us a little bit about your book.
Oh my God. We are talking about your book. It's my journey, it's my story, and it's about resilience and strength and breaking barriers and going for your dreams.
The Long Haul. Amazing. So I just got back from having a coffee with Zara, who wrote this book, and she gave me a copy of her book. I've read the ebook because I wasn't able to get the hard copy in Australia, and as someone who has read The Long Haul, which is a book on her beautiful story of being cabin crew and also just her journey as a woman, coming into her full power and confidence. Honestly, like, this book I highly recommend. I'm going to link it in the description below because I truly believe this book is so inspiring. It's inspired me so much, particularly because I'm currently writing a book about my journey as a flight attendant in the Middle East, and just reading her book has really inspired me to tell my story. I just can't recommend this book enough. Like, it's truly a beautiful story. It's so inspiring, particularly her story about how she got the job. If you're someone who perhaps is a little bit smaller in size, you're a bit worried about if you can reach the height restrictions to become a flight attendant in the Middle East, then you should definitely read her story because it's so inspiring. And she's a small woman like myself, and yeah, her story about the reach test that she had to do in order to get the job is really, really, really inspiring. So I highly recommend that you read this book if you're an aspiring cabin crew, or you're someone who worked in aviation, or even if you're just curious about learning more about the world of a flight attendant. It's like something you can't even possibly imagine. It's just another world, and it's so interesting to read. I highly recommend that you get a copy of the book. You can get it as an ebook or as a hard copy, and it's really interesting and easy read, and I think you will feel so inspired after reading it. Oh, and by the way, yesterday when I caught up with my friend Lauren, we ended up not going to the mall of the Emirates. We went to the Emirates Golf Club, which is really cool because I have a beautiful view of the golf course, and we went to a cafe called Jones and the Grocer. So I just wanted to mention that because that's a really lovely cafe, and it's actually Australian. So it's an Australian cafe in Dubai. It's pretty famous here. So if you're ever in Dubai, you should stop at Jones the Grocer. I like their food there. Say hi, everybody. Hi. So now we're at the mall. So I've been promising you guys that I'm going to the mall. So now I'm actually going to the mall, but not one of the main ones. We're at Dubai Hills Mall, and we're just getting a few things. it is the last night. I am in Dubai and I'm going out with the girls for dinner. I'm all dressed up. I've got a beautiful pink dress on and we're having some champagne. Thank you. I love this. Cheers. So we're having a pre-drink before dinner. Let's go. We're all ready. We're going for dinner at Ling Ling, which is a new restaurant in Atlantis.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm excited. This wasn't around when I was living in Dubai last year, so let's check it out. Hi!
Oh my god, what is this?
Little cousin from Australia.
How are you?
We've just got home from our night out and I am leaving tomorrow morning to Rome. I'm flying to Rome with Emirates. Then I'm going to be catching a bus to Lanciano, no, not to Lanciano, to Pescara in Abruzzo. So that's my first stop for my Europe trip. I don't think I mentioned that. I'm going to Europe for 5 weeks. So I'm going to be creating lots of vlogs over the next few weeks of my trip in Europe. Yeah, this is the end of my stay in Dubai. It's been so short, but it's been so sweet. I've loved catching up with everybody. So until my next video, I will see you then.